Hey guys, Sky here from HWF, and this is a 2021 Ford Bronco from Mattel Hot Wheels. The 2021 Ford Bronco is one of the highly anticipated models launched by Ford in a while, simply because the Bronco nameplate and the two-door form factor was placed in hiatus for almost a quarter of a century before this release. The Bronco was offered either with a 2.3-litre inline 4-cylinder producing 300 horsepower, or a 2.7-litre V6 engine with an output rated at 330 horsepower. Both engine trims are mated to a 10-speed automatic, sending power to all four wheels. Manual option is also available for the 2.3-litre inline 4 models in the US. Off-roading capabilities are enhanced by the 11.6 inches ground clearance with a 43.2 degree approach angle and a 37.2 degree departure angle, a horse suspension setup, and a large front steel bash plate. Now for the interior shot of the 2021 Ford Bronco, we can see that per the usual Hot Wheels models, the interior is flat in one particular color, so it's all in the same shade of gray. But it's got some nice details. For instance, if we look at the front over here, we can see the shifter. We can also see, if we zoom in a little bit, right there, that two holes there are the cup holders. So it's really a nice touch that Mattel Hot Wheels has not only molded a proper interior, they have also even molded the shape of the cup holders, and if we rotate a little bit, we see a bit more of the dash. So the dash is also something that is flat in the same color. We have the steering wheel, and if you take a look at the front seats right there, you can see that there are also mold lines on the front seat. So instead of it being flat with no textures at all, there are some there also as well. The driver's side, there are mold lines on both the front seat, as well as if we shift over to the rear bench, you can see that there are also quite a fair bit of mold lines on the rear bench. When we talk about the interior, we have to talk about this structure here, which I suppose it's a structure for the rigidity of the roof, given that the model is relatively large. So over here you can see there is a structure that supports the floor of the model to the roof. So this breaks immersion a little bit, but I guess for the chassis rigidity, for the structure rigidity, it makes sense for it to be in there. But yeah, it definitely messes with the immersion of the model a fair bit. And also, if you notice from here, the door cards, there are no door cards on this model, so it's just details on the seats and the dashboards. Moving on to the detailed view segment. Starting from the front of the vehicle, we can see that on the grille piece there is an accent design on the grille which spells out the Bronco nameplate. So this is obviously similar to the detail piece on the actual vehicle. And on top of that, we can see some indents on the grille to actually mimic the design on the actual vehicle as well. So on the front shot, we can see that there is actually a lack of headlight decals. And if we swing the vehicle to the rear, we will see that there are similarly no taillight decals as well. I think this is a bit of a justifiable omission, seeing as the rest of the body actually features a lot of details already. So we can actually forgive Mattel Hot Wheels for not providing the headlights and the taillight decals on this particular model. One of the additional features that actually comes with this particular model is if we look at the top of the hood, on the left and the right side of the hood, we can see there are two bumps that actually exist on the model. On the actual car itself, Ford actually calls these trail sights. The function of these trail sights are to allow the driver of the vehicle to know the exact location where the front wheels are, the left and the right front wheels are, in relation to the vehicle and the environment. What this does is it allows the driver to have a better maneuverability, especially in tight situations when off-roading. So it's a nice touch that Mattel Hot Wheels actually molded this detail into the body of the model as well. If we look at the side profile, this is arguably one of the better looking decals that I've seen on a Hot Wheels model. The black and the yellow decals actually contrast very well against the grey paint. As a matter of fact, the yellow bit on the rim also contrasted very well against the grey paint. Another detail that you can notice from this shot is in the wheel wells, we can see that there are molded details of the suspension. This is a nice touch because given the height of the model, there is a lot of real estate space in the wheel arches. If it is empty, it will look a little plain Jane and probably a bit boring. So it's nice that they have molded the suspension strut bar in the wheel arches as well. Now, of course, we can see the door handle on the left and the right side. But the door handle is actually finished in the same body color. So as opposed to it being in a separate color like a black color or a silver color, it is just finished in the plain body color. One good thing about the side decals is that they are not mirrored. So you see, for instance, the BF Goodrich, the Bronco nameplate, and the Hot Wheels logo on the right decal side, it actually is the same when we flip it to the left side, so it is not mirrored. You can see this from the normal cars as well. Sometimes, on the one side, the decal would be the right side, and then on the other side, the decal would be mirrored. So that is not the case here, so it's a bit more symmetrical and it looks a bit neater and tidier in my opinion. Moving on, if we swing the model to the roof, you can see that the roof is actually not flat. So there are ridges on the roof to mimic the ridges designs on the actual vehicle. Speaking of ridges on the roof, if you look at the roof itself, there is one ridge that runs across the roof and it continues down and it further flows into the back of the roof, forming one solid piece. As you may or may not know, the actual Ford Bronco actually features removable body panels. So for instance, the hardtop roof can actually be removed as a solid piece after undoing some bolts that fasten the hardtop roof to the body. Mattel Hot Wheels actually did cast these grooves in to create the illusion that this hardtop roof is one actual piece and can be removed by the owner. If we swing the model piece to the rear end of the model, we can see that yes, this is probably the most uninspiring portion of the model because there's no decals, there's no colors, it's just basically the body color gray with the different shade of gray on the spare wheel trim. With that being said, if we turn to the left a little bit, you can see that there are still some designs here in the form of a grab handle for the rear door. And surprisingly enough, there is also a small notch on the bumper side, which actually is the position for the license plate. If you notice on the right side, there is no notch here for the license plate. It is just on the left side. So this creates a bit of a asymmetrical look, which is a refreshing design considering everywhere else it's pretty symmetrical. One argument here would be the lack of a decal on this license plate notch. It would have been nice if they have included a decal that says Bronco or even Ford here. So if we look at the overall stance of the model, it perfectly captures the rugged look that the Ford Bronco, the actual Ford Bronco, is going for. Given that the tires actually jut out a bit further from the body and the wheel arches, and of course the wheel arches does wonders to the body in further promoting the ruggedness of the car. And when we set the vehicle down, the body of the model actually sits rather tall, and this really gels well for the overall stance of the model. I also really like the fact that they incorporated the spare wheel trim on the rear end. This further promotes the rugged look and it completes the rugged look of the vehicle, in my opinion. In any case, this has been Sky from HWF, and until we meet again, bye bye for now.